Okay, in this video right here, we're going to be talking about rounding. And the first one, it says, in 1 and 2, round to the nearest hundred. And on number 1 right here, they have it on a number line. And actually move it there a little bit. They have it on a number line. And we're around to the nearest hundred. So you can see the 640 is actually closer to 600 than it is to 700. So 640 would round to 600. Would around the nearest hundred. 305. Okay, now when we're using our rounding graph, it tells us to circle the place value that we're rounding to. So this is the hundreds place, and we underline the one just to the right of it. It's a 0, and in that problem, if it's 0 to 4, the place that we're rounding to stays the same, and everything else becomes a 0. So 305 round the nearest hundred would be 300. Question number 3. In 3 and 4, round to the nearest 1,000. And on this one, we're rounding the number 5,700, and we put it on a number line, and you can see 5,300 or 5,700 is closer to 6,000 than it is to 5,000. So we're going to go ahead and round that. That's going to round to 6,000. Okay, question number 4. We'll use our little rounding graph. In our rounding graph, it tells us to circle the place value that we're rounding to, which is the thousands. Okay, we underline the digit that tells us what to do. There's a 4 right there, so the 4s tell us that it stays the same. So the 1's going to stay the same, and everything to the right is going to become a 0. So 1,490 rounded to the thousandths position is 1,000. Number 5 says, what number is halfway between 20,000 and 30,000? What's halfway between? 25,000 is halfway between. Okay, in number 6, round 25,678 to the nearest 10,000ths place. So I'm going to circle the place value that I'm rounding to, the 10,000ths place. I underline the digit that tells us what to do. Underline the digit that tells us what to do. And the 5 is telling the 2 to go up. So it becomes a 3. Becomes a 3. The 5 becomes a 0. And everything to the right becomes a 0. So 25,678 to the nearest 10,000ths is 30,000. So, question number 7. Look back at page 52. If Tito adds one more rock to his collection, about how many rocks will he have rounded to the nearest 10? Round to the nearest 100. Explain your answer. So first, we need to add one more rock to his collection. So that would be plus 1. So that would be 395 rocks he has in his collection. For around the tens position, we circle the tens position. We underline the place value tells us what to do, and the 5 is telling the 9 to go up. So the 5 turns it into a 10, and we can't have a 10 in the tens position, so we're going to go ahead and add that. So that would be 400. Okay, and remember everything to the right becomes a 0, so the 5 is going to become a 0. So if we're rounding 395 to the hundreds position, we circle the 3, and we underline the 9, and the 9 is telling the 3 to go up to a 4, and everything to the right becomes a 0. So 400. So both rounding 395 to the tens place is 400, and rounding to the hundreds place is 400. Let's go ahead and look at the next page. Okay, let's see if I make this a little bit larger. A little bit easier to look at, maybe. Okay. Number 14 you're going to do on your own, but I'll go ahead and read it to you. It says, okay, the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy has 293 steps. To the nearest tens, about how many steps are there? To the nearest hundreds, about how many steps are there? And then the little bubble girl says, it took almost 200 years to build the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Okay, we're going to look at number 15. That's what we're going to do together. Okay, to the nearest $100, a computer game costs $100, which could not be the actual cost of the computer game. So if we have answer choices right here and try to figure out which one is not, we should probably go ahead and round all of them to the $100 place, to the $100. Oh, sorry. So right here on A, okay, circle this. It's basically a 0 in the hundreds place. Underline the 8. The 8 is telling the 0 to go up, so that's going to round to $100. Same thing on B. Circle this. There's a 0 in the hundreds place. Underline the 9. The 9 is telling the 0 to go up to a 1. That rounds to $100. Okay, circle the hundreds place. There's a 1. Underline the 1. The 1 is telling the hundreds place to stay the same, so it'd be 1. Everything else becomes 0. And on the last one, D, circle the hundreds place. Underline the digit to the right. That's a 5. 5 and above, we give it a shove. So the 1 becomes a 2. So, and everything to the right becomes a 0. So D is the only one that does not round to 100. So D would be the correct answer choice. 16. I'll read 16 to you. Write a number that rounds to 20,000 when it is rounded to the nearest 10,000. You're going to do that one on your own. And we'll look at 17. We'll do that one together. Okay, name the least number of coins you can use to show 47 cents. What are the coins? So if we're doing the least amount of coins, we want to use the largest coins we can. And largest coin I can use there, well, the largest coin is a 50-cent piece, but I can't use a 50-cent piece to make 47 cents. So the next largest coin would be a quarter. So I'll go ahead and put a quarter right here. And I'll subtract that from my 47 cents. Okay, so 5 from 7 is 2. And 2 from 4 is 2. That gives me 22 cents. Okay, so a quarter is the first one we would use. Put Q there, represent quarter. Okay, and now I got 22 cents. A quarter, I can't use a quarter to make 22 cents. So my next largest coin would be a dime. And so I subtract 10 from that. That gives me 12 cents. So that's a dime. And I could use another dime right here. Subtract that. That gives me 2 cents. So that's another dime. And with 2 cents left, I know that it would take 2 pennies to do that. So the least amount of coins I could use is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins, and that would be a quarter, 2 dimes, and 2 pennies to make 47 cents. Question number 18. Suppose you are rounding to the nearest thousand. What is the greatest number that rounds to 6,000? What is the least number that rounds to 6,000? You need to go and do that one on your own, and we'll go ahead and do 19 together. Okay, a 3-digit number has the digits 2, 5, 7. Okay, to the nearest 100 is rounded to 800. What is the number? Show how you found the answer. Okay, so I mean, there's a lot of different numbers we can make with the digits 2, 5, and 7, but only one of them is going to round to 800. It's definitely going to have a 7 in the hundreds place, because when we're rounding, it's not going to, the most it can go up is 1, so we couldn't have a 2 or 5 in the hundreds place. And so the number to the right of that 7, to make it go up, if we put a 2 beside it, it wouldn't go up, so we have to put a 5 beside it. That only leaves the 2. So 752 would be the number. We'll go ahead and try it. I circle the 7, underline the 5. The 5 is telling the 7 to go up, so that becomes an 8, and everything else becomes a 0. So 752 is my number. The last question, 20, I'll read to you. Emily says, I am thinking of a number that is greater than 142, rounds to 100 when rounded to the nearest 100, and has a 5 in the ones place. What is Emily's number? And go ahead and work that one on your own. There's only one number that'll work. that meets all those criteria right there.